I'm here today to explore what's going on in biotechnology, specifically in the area of genetic modification of organisms. I run a small consultancy called LLC, and we work specifically on due diligence and risk assessment of technologies, both for investors and for different agencies. I have been working in algae for about 10 years, and I spent the last 5 working in support of the National Energy Technology Lab and its program with Arizona Public Service in Arizona to use algae for the purpose of capturing carbon dioxide from flue gas and basically mechanizing what's called recycling carbon. That is saying that it's very valuable in the form of natural gas to make power, but why throw it away through flue gas? Why not capture it again in a photosynthetic engine and then use that algae as a feedstock for other things such as biofuels? My specific concern that I'm speaking about here tomorrow has to do with the risks associated with the genetic modification of algae. Algae is a very unique plant on this planet. It functions as the primary interface between oceans and the atmosphere. It creates almost over half the oxygen we breathe. It's the basis of innumerable food chains. And it's an important part of the ecosystem in many ways we still do not fully understand. There are some things that science and engineering can do to mitigate the risks of deploying any biological organism, and that has to do with modeling or understanding how that organism works in nature currently. The National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration has very little money to monitor algae and monitor its status and its genomes and its DNA and its interfaces and its impacts today. And this is kind of the fundamental science, the baseline that's necessary to establish a comparative that's important when you try to understand changing anything in the environment. And so what I'm a proponent of is establishing baseline science first, and then to be able to study or model in a closed and a safe manner what changes one would make. And this is something that most technologists and scientists agree with. It's hard for me to see the deployment of a genetically modified algae responsibly within appropriate guidelines unless a consensus process is first established for a modification of the points of consideration of the Toxic Substances Control Act. And so because this process is a long industry, government, consensus-driven regulation process, it's going to take a while before any responsible deployment happens.